My friends, let me ask you something powerful today. Do you want to keep your energy high, your drive strong, and your confidence unshakable, no matter your age? Because the truth is this: the foods you choose every single day are either fueling your testosterone or slowly shutting it down. And the difference between thriving and just surviving can come down to something as simple as the nuts you snack on. Testosterone is not just about muscles, not just about intimacy. It's about your vitality, your mood, your focus, and your long-term health. When testosterone drops, men and women both start to feel the effects: fatigue, weakness, low motivation, brain fog, even weight gain around the belly. But the good news is this: nature has already given us powerful tools to turn things around. And today we're going to uncover which nuts raise your testosterone levels and which ones you should avoid if you want to keep that fire burning strong dot. Most people today don't even realize they're sabotaging their own bodies. They're living on autopilot, grabbing whatever food is convenient, thinking if it's labeled healthy, then it must be helping them. But here's the reality: so many of these so-called healthy snacks are quietly robbing men and women of their energy, their drive, and their vitality. When it comes to testosterone, every little thing adds up. Think about it. Your hormones are the body's communication system, and when that system is disrupted, every single function suffers. The food you eat can either act like a clear signal or like static on the line. And one of the biggest culprits is right in front of us: the wrong kinds of nuts. Now I want you to picture this. You've been told all your life that nuts are good for you. And in many ways, they're packed with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. But not all nuts are created equal. Some of them are rich in the exact nutrients your body needs to build and sustain testosterone levels. Others, on the other hand, are filled with compounds that can do the exact opposite: lower testosterone, increase inflammation, and create an imbalance that leaves you feeling sluggish and drained. And here's the scary part: most people don't even know the difference. They're eating foods they believe are supporting their health, when in reality, they're quietly pulling the rug out from under their hormones. This is why identifying the problem is so critical. Because once you see it clearly, once you understand that not all nuts work the same way in the body, you gain the power to make smarter choices. It's like turning on the lights in a dark room. You suddenly see where you've been stumbling, and now you can walk with confidence. Let's talk about why this is such a problem today. For decades, marketing has lumped all nuts together, painting them as universally good for heart health, weight loss, and energy. And when testosterone levels start to decline, it doesn't always hit you like a sudden crash. It's more like a slow leak in a tire. At first, you don't even notice it. You wake up a little more tired than usual, but you tell yourself it's just stress. You go to the gym and realize the weights feel heavier, but you think maybe you just need more rest. Your motivation starts slipping, your energy fades in the afternoons, and the spark that once pushed you forward begins to dim. That's what low testosterone does. It creeps in quietly, and before you know it, it's affecting every area of your daily life. Energy is one of the first things people feel slipping away. You can get 8 hours of sleep, but still wake up groggy, dragging yourself through the morning. That's because testosterone is directly tied to energy metabolism, and when it's low, your cells just don't fire up the way they should. You may find yourself relying on extra cups of coffee or sugary snacks to keep going, but those quick fixes only dig the hole deeper. Instead of feeling energized, you end up on a roller coaster of spikes and crashes. Then there's strength and muscle mass. Testosterone is the hormone that tells your body to build and preserve lean muscle. Without it, workouts feel harder, recovery takes longer, and the results just aren't the same. Many men start to notice their arms and legs looking smaller, their chest softening, and their belly getting rounder. And let's be honest, when your body starts changing in ways you don't like, it affects your confidence too. That sense of strength and vitality you once carried begins to fade, and with it, so does the motivation to keep pushing forward. But it doesn't stop with the physical changes. Testosterone also plays a powerful role in your brain. Low levels can cause brain fog, poor focus, irritability, and even depression. You might notice you're forgetting small things more often, struggling to stay sharp at work, or just feeling like your mental drive isn't there anymore. And when your brain isn't firing on all cylinders, it's easy to fall into a cycle of frustration and self-doubt. You begin to question yourself, your abilities, even your purpose, when in reality, the root cause is a hormonal imbalance. And then there's intimacy. Testosterone is directly connected to libido, arousal, and performance. When it drops, so does desire. Relationships can suffer. Self-esteem takes a hit. And the frustration can compound into stress, which ironically lowers testosterone even further. It becomes a vicious cycle, and many men and women start to think this is just part of aging. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be. Much of this decline can be slowed, supported, and even reversed through the right lifestyle and dietary changes. Over the long term, the effects become even more serious. Low testosterone is linked with reduced bone density, meaning a higher risk of fractures and osteoporosis. It's tied to metabolic issues like insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. It weakens the cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of heart problems. And because it chips away at motivation, people often stop moving, stop exercising, stop caring for themselves, which accelerates the decline even more. That's why ignoring this problem is dangerous. It's not just about feeling tired or struggling with intimacy. It's about protecting your future health, your independence, and your quality of life. Understanding this impact is the first step to making a change. Once you see how low testosterone quietly drains you physically, mentally, and emotionally, you realize why it's so important to protect it. That's why something as simple as choosing the right nuts in your diet becomes so powerful. Because the small daily choices you make can either help restore balance or push you deeper into imbalance. And when you start choosing foods that support testosterone production, you begin fueling your energy, rebuilding your strength, sharpening your mind, and reigniting that spark of motivation that makes life vibrant and full. Now let's get into the exciting part, the solutions. Because once you truly understand the problem and how it chips away at your daily life, you need to know how to fight back. And here's the great news. You don't need a prescription, you don't need fancy supplements, and you don't need complicated routines. Nature has already equipped us with foods that can naturally raise testosterone levels and give your body the fuel it needs to perform at its best. And one of the easiest, most accessible tools is sitting right in the palm of your hand, nuts. But remember, not all nuts are created equal. Some are powerful allies for your hormones, while others are enemies in disguise. That's why knowing which ones to choose and which ones to avoid can completely change your game. Let's start with almonds. Almonds are packed with healthy fats, vitamin E, magnesium, and protein. These nutrients work together to support hormone production and improve circulation. Magnesium in particular has been shown in studies to help free up bound testosterone in the body, making more of it available to do its job. Think of it like oiling up a rusty hinge. The movement becomes smoother, more efficient, and stronger. A handful of raw almonds a few times a week can keep your testosterone supported while also helping your heart and brain stay sharp. Then we have Brazil nuts, and these are what I like to call nature's hidden powerhouse. Just 2 or 3 Brazil nuts a day provide your body with enough selenium to meet your daily needs. Selenium is a critical mineral that plays a major role in testosterone production and sperm health. Without enough selenium, your hormones struggle to fire on all cylinders. But with the right amount, you give your endocrine system the building blocks it needs to stay balanced. And the best part is, you don't need to overdo it. Just a small serving makes a massive difference. Walnuts are another fantastic choice. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and improve blood flow. Remember, healthy testosterone levels are not just about how much your body produces, but also about how well that testosterone circulates and gets to where it needs to go. Omega-3s act like smooth highways for your hormones, making sure they're transported efficiently throughout the body. Walnuts are also a great snack for brain health, so you're getting a 2-for-1 benefit, sharper focus, and better hormonal balance. And let's not forget macadamia nuts. These are loaded with monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil, which are excellent for testosterone health. Unlike nuts that are heavy in omega-6 fatty acids, macadamias have a much better balance of fats that lower inflammation instead of raising it. And when inflammation is under control, your hormones can work in harmony rather than being disrupted. Macadamias are also incredibly satisfying, so just a small handful can keep cravings away and your energy stable. Now, while those 4 nuts can work wonders for your testosterone, there are 2 you really need to watch out for: peanuts and pistachios. Peanuts are not even true nuts, they're legumes, and they're high in omega-6 fatty acids. When omega-6 become too dominant in the body, they create inflammation, which directly suppresses testosterone production. On top of that, peanuts are one of the most common sources of mold toxins, which further burden the body and hormones. Pistachios, on the other hand, contain compounds that can interfere with androgen activity. That means they may lower the very hormones you're trying to protect. So while they taste great and often show up in snack mixes, they're not your friend when it comes to maintaining strong testosterone levels. The bottom line is this: you don't have to reinvent your diet to support your hormones. You just need to make smarter swaps. Replace the peanuts in your trail mix with walnuts. Swap out pistachios for macadamias. Add a couple of Brazil nuts to your morning routine and keep almonds handy for a quick snack instead of grabbing something processed. By making these simple, natural adjustments, you're giving your body the exact nutrients it craves to keep testosterone strong, energy high, and your health thriving for the long haul. Here's where it gets practical, my friends, because knowing which foods support your testosterone is one thing, but actually bringing that knowledge into your daily life is what creates real change. It's not about making one perfect choice every once in a while. It's about creating simple, doable habits that stack up day after day until they become second nature. And the beautiful part is that these solutions don't require fancy cooking skills, complicated recipes, or a huge budget. With just a little intention, you can start nourishing your hormones with every bite you take. So let's talk about easy, everyday swaps that anyone can start today. One of the simplest changes is trading out peanut butter for almond butter. Most households are stocked with peanut butter, and for years it's been marketed as a healthy staple. But remember, peanuts are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids and can contain mold toxins that harm your body over time. By choosing almond butter instead, you're giving yourself healthy fats and nutrients that actually support testosterone instead of tearing it down. Spread it on apple slices, stir it into oatmeal, or just grab a spoonful when you want a quick, satisfying snack. That one change alone can start tipping the scale in your favor. Another easy step is to replace salted peanuts or pistachios with walnuts or macadamias. Think about those moments when you're sitting in front of the TV at night, or you need something to munch on during work. Instead of reaching for the usual snack mix, keep a jar of raw walnuts or macadamias within arm's reach. Walnuts will fuel your brain and reduce inflammation, while macadamias give you those clean monosaturated fats that encourage hormonal balance. You'll still get that satisfying crunch, but this time it's actually helping you instead of hurting you. Now let's bring Brazil nuts into the picture. Here's a tip I give to so many people: keep a small container with 2 or 3 Brazil nuts by your coffee maker or wherever you start your morning routine. That way you'll never forget to include them. Just a couple of nuts per day gives your body a full dose of selenium, which is a critical mineral for testosterone and reproductive health. It's such a small action, but it delivers a huge benefit over time. Here's the truth, my friends. Nothing changes unless you do it consistently. One handful of walnuts isn't going to transform your testosterone. One spoonful of almond butter isn't going to suddenly flood your body with energy and drive. Real lasting change happens when you commit to these small, healthy habits every single day until they become part of who you are. Think about it. Your body didn't reach its current state overnight, and it's not going to rebuild itself overnight either. But just as unhealthy habits chip away at your strength, the right habits will slowly rebuild and restore it. And once you create momentum, your body begins to reward you in ways that fuel your motivation to keep going. Let's break this down. Testosterone thrives in an environment of balance. That means steady nutrition, regular movement, quality sleep, and controlled stress. When you give your body these pillars consistently, it doesn't just survive, it begins to thrive. For example, if you start adding almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, and macadamias into your diet daily, you're giving your body a constant supply of the building blocks it needs to produce testosterone. Over time, your energy starts to stabilize. Your muscles begin to respond better to exercise, and your mental clarity sharpens. But if you only eat them once in a while and then slip back into old habits, snacking on peanuts, loading up on processed foods, or skipping meals, you never give your body the chance to stay in balance long enough to see results. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline isn't about making life harder, it's about creating freedom. When you discipline yourself to consistently choose the foods that fuel your hormones, you free yourself from the cycle of fatigue, brain fog, and frustration. You free yourself from the trap of relying on stimulants like coffee and sugar to push through the day. You free yourself from that voice in your head that says, "This is just aging, and there's nothing I can do." Because there is something you can do. You can take small, intentional steps every single day that add up to massive change over time. One of the easiest ways to build consistency is to anchor your new habits to routines you already have. If you drink coffee every morning, keep your Brazil nuts right next to the coffee maker. If you pack a lunch for work, throw a small bag of walnuts or macadamias into your lunchbox so you don't reach for vending machine snacks. If you like winding down at night with something crunchy, keep almonds on the counter instead of chips or peanuts. These little environmental tweaks make it easier to stay consistent without relying on willpower alone. And let's not forget that consistency goes beyond just food. Regular exercise. Even simple body weight movements at home signals to your body that it needs to keep testosterone flowing. Sleep is another critical factor. Staying up late and cutting sleep short is one of the fastest ways to tank your hormones. But when you consistently prioritize rest, your body has the time it needs to repair, rebuild, and regulate hormones naturally. Stress management matters too, because chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, which is a testosterone killer. Daily practices like deep breathing, meditation, or even a walk outside can bring balance back, but only if you do them consistently. The magic is not in perfection, it's in repetition. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to commit to a few powerful actions and repeat them until they become automatic. Over time, those small, consistent choices compound into massive results. You'll wake up one day with more energy, more strength, more focus, and more confidence, and you'll realize it wasn't one big thing that changed everything. It was the steady rhythm of small, smart habits. That's how you win back your vitality, and that's how you keep it for life. Here's what I want you to understand more than anything. The power to change your health and your hormones has always been in your hands. Too many people believe they need a magic pill, a quick fix, or some expensive treatment to feel strong, youthful, and alive again. But that's not true. The real magic comes from the small, consistent decisions you make every single day. And the most powerful takeaway here is this. Your body is designed to heal, to rebuild, and to thrive when you give it the right tools. Food is not just fuel, it's information. Every bite you take is sending a message to your body, telling it either to produce more energy, more strength, more testosterone, or to slow down, weaken, and age faster. That's how powerful your daily choices really are. When you choose the nuts that support testosterone, almonds, Brazil nuts, walnuts, and macadamias, you're not just eating a snack, you're sending a signal to your body that says, stay strong, keep building, keep protecting me. And when you avoid the nuts that drag you down like peanuts and pistachios, you're removing obstacles that block your progress. That's what empowerment looks like. It's taking control of what you can, even in small ways, and watching those decisions ripple out into every area of your life. Think about the chain reaction that happens when your testosterone levels rise naturally. You start waking up with more energy. That energy pushes you to move more, to exercise, to take care of yourself. When you exercise and feel stronger, your confidence grows. When your confidence grows, your mood improves. When your mood improves, your relationships strengthen. And when all of that is flowing together, your motivation to keep making good choices skyrockets. That's the power of momentum. One positive decision fuels another. And before long, you've completely changed the trajectory of your life. But here's the thing, you have to believe in the process. You have to remind yourself that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Some days you'll eat the right foods, drink enough water, get good sleep, and feel amazing. Other days life will throw challenges your way and you might slip up. That's okay. What matters is that you don't quit. You pick yourself back up, you make the next choice a good one, and you keep moving forward. Because every time you do, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who values their health, who respects their body, and who takes control of their destiny. This journey is about more than just testosterone. It's about reclaiming your vitality and living with purpose. When your hormones are balanced, when your energy is strong, when your body feels alive, you start showing up differently in every part of your life. You become more patient with your loved ones, more focused at work, more enthusiastic about your goals. You stop surviving and start thriving. That's what I want for you, to live fully, not half asleep, not drained, not defeated. And the path to get there is right in front of you. So let this be your motivational takeaway. Don't underestimate the small, simple steps. A handful of the right nuts, a commitment to consistency, a belief in your own power. These are not little things. They are the foundation of transformation. Your future self is depending on the choices you make today. Every bite is a vote for the person you want to become. So choose wisely, choose with intention, and keep choosing until the life you imagine becomes the life you live. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, swap the testosterone killers for the testosterone boosters. Take control of your health, one small bite at a time. Remember, my friends, when you give your body what it truly needs, it will give back to you tenfold in energy, in confidence, and in life. Stay strong, stay consistent, and let's keep thriving together.